Hi, welcome to MMA UK. Me, Danny Bruff. We're doing the preview for the reaction video for the early prelims of UFC 261. Please make sure to subscribe to the MMA UK channel and press the bell for notifications. We're really trying to push this to try and hit the target of 3K. It's honestly makes such a difference to the whole team here at MMA UK. You can also find us on Twitter at We Are MMA UK, Instagram at MMA UK_Insta. Like our Facebook page, MMA UK News, and you can find loads of content on our website, MMAUK.net. And you can even download the MMA UK News app, available on Android and iPhone, to get all the latest news in MMA, not just around the UK, but around the globe. So let's not keep it moving. We're just going to go straight onto the early prelims. Brilliant start last night. We got crowds back in, which made a huge difference as a fan. I'm sure it was a huge difference to the fighters as well. So the first up, we had Liang versus Canalosi. Canalosi, both of them, it was a ridiculous first round. Both of them went straight at it. They weren't letting anything off the gas. You can tell when these prelim fighters feel like they've got a lot to prove. Canalosi got in with a round 2 win with a TKO. Moving on to the next fight in the men's flyweight division, Arichi Lang versus Molina. Molina, you might remember or not, but he came through the Dana White's Contender Series. He ended up getting a win with a unanimous decision. It was a proper 3-round battle. I think personally it could have gone either way. He did get a unanimous decision on the night, and it ended up being a fight of the night. So it says all you need to know about that one. Men's lightweight division, moving on swiftly, was Vargas versus Rongzhu. Vargas, again, another 3-round battle, won on a unanimous decision. Both of these guys have been training at different UFC performance institutes. So it's a great insight to look into the future, really, because we're both young lads. I think Rongzhu is one of the youngest to even fight in the UFC at 23 years old. So great opportunity for him. Following that, we had the men's bantamweight. It was Batjarel against Natividad. Natividad had a lot of hopes of him, to be honest. I was hoping he was gonna do the job last night, but he got knocked out. He won. Batjarel won by a beautiful knockout, hit him right on the button, literally sent him straight down. And it's a well-deserved win, to be fair. There's not really much he could have done about that one. So then moving on to the men's featherweight division, Sabatini against Connolly. Sabatini won on a decision. Again, another 3 rounds of just back and forwards. We're doing a lot of work on the side of the cage. It was beautiful footwork by Sabatini, to be fair. It's probably ultimately won him decision. He was quite dominant throughout. And the men's middleweight division was Robertson versus Allen. Allen, got a round 1 submission. Very impressive straight ankle submission. It's only the 10th to come in line for the 10th in UFC history for that kind of finish. So I'm sure he's going to be extremely impressed with that one. And moving on from that, we had the men's welterweight, Grant versus Sekulic. Another decision, 3-round battle. Grant come out with a win. I don't think anyone can complain about that one. And last but not least, it's a men's welterweight, Oliveira versus Brown. Brown won with a round 1 submission, rear naked choke, which I think to be doing something like that against a veteran in the sport, it's a tough test for him, but Brown rose to the occasion and there's not really much Oliveira could do. I'm not really sure what's going to be next up for Oliveira, because he keeps getting put against these tests and he still needs to get a recent win under his belt. It was absolutely amazing having the crowds back. The only thing I missed a little bit was that you couldn't really gauge the corners as much. I think the TV crew were doing their best to let you have your little bit of insight here and there, but I did miss that. I know where Rose and Shevchenko were really impressed about, getting that feeling back of having the fans in the stadium. We've both mentioned how much it's made them rise to the occasion. And we've got Danny joining us. Yeah, Danny.
Hello.
Hey up, Danny. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, great, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Just done a quick run through all the results. How did you find it last night? What do you find with the crowds being back?
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Just see if I can get this working.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Oh, it keeps coming on and then going off.
So I'll just go back whilst waiting for Danny to get his video back. Just want to go back and touch on the Arichi Lang versus Molina fight that we watched last night. It was a fight of the night. It was the second fight into the prelims, which it says everything about prelims, really. A lot of people only tune in to watch a main event. You're missing out massively by only watching the main event. But some of the best fights you'll see on the prelims because we've got nothing to lose. We feel like we've got so much to prove. And I suppose sometimes with them not having the experience, you get to see more action because we just want to start throwing. We want to just do the moves that we've been training for. And we've got Danny back in now. Hi, Danny. Okay, mate? Technical difficulties?
Yeah, I think that should be sorted now, mate.
Not bad, not bad. I was just talking about the Molina and Arichi Lang fight. Ended up getting fight of the night,
wasn't it?
Yeah, what did you think about the judge's decision? Because I thought it was close, but he had a 10-8, and it was a unanimous decision. But one of them was a 10-8. What did you think about that?
Was that the one where one of the judges scored it 30-26?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'd scored it 29-28.
Right.
I think there was a fight just after it as well where there was two really dominant first rounds, which I would say
wronged you, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that both of those rounds were more dominant than the 10-8 and the one that got given here.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
there's just no consistency, is there, which is a big problem. But I didn't agree with the 10-8 in this fight. I thought it was a 29-28.
Yeah.
But you know, at least the right guy won in the end.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
really impressed with Molina though. His hands looked great, didn't they? Particularly in that third round.
Yeah, brilliant. I think if he had another minute left in that third round, though, I'm not sure he'd have made it out of that. It looked like he was wobbling in the last 10 seconds. He literally was on his way, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. He was almost sort of like he didn't really know where he was, and his coaches were like pulling his arm up in the air, weren't they, to sort of appeal that he's won the fight.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'd say. That's what could have made the turning point. But going off the scorecards, I don't think anyone gave Arichi anything for him. I thought he did brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. It was both guys looked really good. I can't remember which round I think I might have given Arichi the first round, was it?
Yeah,
and then Molina was the took the next two. I thought both of the or was it three of them? All three of the Chinese fighters that all got beat in those first three fights of the night. They were all pretty good. Perhaps the occasion got the better of them a little bit.
I have made a note of that. I feel like the judges have kind of pointed them down for. Became very emotional, didn't they? They seemed very emotional whilst we were fighting. So maybe it made it look a little bit sloppy, but we were making contact and we were making good headway into the fights that we were getting into.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, with the fans being back, I don't know whether that played into it a bit, but the roof seemed to come off, didn't it? All the way through those first four fights, and the crowd wasn't even like a third full at that point.
Yeah, but not even half attendance. Actually, when I first turned it on and I started hearing the crowds, I thought it was dubbed. I completely forgot it was the first audience back. So it was like I say, the atmosphere, even in your living room, makes a huge difference when you're watching the fight, because it gives yourself a little bit more of a buzz when you're watching it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So keeping to the prelims, obviously we will be discussing the main events later on after this. We've discussed Liang, we've discussed Arichi Lang. Vargas we just touched on a little bit. The men's bantamweight, the Batjarel knockout of Natividad, won by a beautiful knockout. I think it was right hook or right overhand straight on the button. What did you make of that fight?
That was the one where he touched him moving back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a great combo. I think he threw a right sort of front kick, didn't he? That sort of glanced past the right past the chin, and then as he's moving back, he's land the left, and then he switches stance, doesn't he? And the hook right across. It was just
I think he was only switching stance as well because he was getting pushed onto his back foot. And it literally just one swift movement. You could tell how tight he was as well, couldn't you? He wasn't an accident. He surely knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's just having a little look at his record. He's that's his second knockout in the UFC, out 3 fights, and that's what it is. What they were saying on comms last night, which I agree with, was I still have this thing in my mind about flyweights, bantamweights, where they don't punch hard, and you just presume that the fight's going to go the distance or a submission, but he's one of these guys that looks like they're coming through that really does have that power that you'd associate with a weight class 2 or 3 above, and it's such an exciting division, bantamweight now. There's so many contenders in there, and you look at guys like Sean O'Malley, who's unranked as well, and then you've got guys like this who are just providing these beautiful combinations, getting a knockout finish. It's definitely the division to watch this year, I think.
I think we're going to start getting this across the board. I feel like the UFC, over the next 10, 15, 20 years, this is just going to be the absolute minimum standard. To pull that knockoff against someone like Natividad as well, I'm pretty sure he was the underdog. I just think it was unbelievable. And I'm sure he'll be extremely happy tonight on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, MMA is such it's hard to remember sometimes, but it's such a young sport, isn't it? In terms of most of the guys tend to have not started their martial art primarily to do MMA, and have got really good at one aspect of it and then transitioned in. But we're getting to the point now where you look at there was a guy fighting just past this one who was born past the 80,000, and these are the sort of guys that realistically could have seen MMA, or like the Ultimate Fighter, the first Ultimate Fighter in 2005.
Yeah.
And these natural born amazing athletes that have previously only been targeting the NFL or the NBA or the Premier League, wherever they're from, could now be coming into MMA, and that's when it's just this level's just going to skyrocket, and the guys we think are amazing now are going to feel like they weren't actually that good compared to the people that are going to come through.
Yeah, most definitely. You're just touching about the guy born in 2000, and in 2000 he's 23 years old. Both of them fighters actually were doing the training camps in the UFC Performance Institute. One of them in Florida, and the Human Rongju was at the one in Shanghai. So that's going to be the substandard. I think we've got a lot to look forward to. And just obviously pushing on time, I'm just going to go on to the last fight, really, for men's welterweight Oliveira. What are you expecting out of that? Were you expecting him to get beat?
To be honest, I was thinking that Brazilian Cowboy would win it. I thought he would. There is gaps in Randy Brown's defensive wrestling. I thought he was going to take it to him, get him to the ground, and sort of grind on him for 2 of the 3 rounds at least. So I was expecting that, but he just caught him with one hell of a shot, didn't he? And props to Cowboy for staying in it for as long as he did. But really good finish to get that choke finish with one arm. I'm not seen that in the UFC for a very long time. Strange, actually. I was watching some tape on Gordon Ryan. Is just jiu-jitsu, because he's signed with one championship, and I saw a one-arm choke literally 2 days ago, and I thought I can't imagine seeing that in the UFC anytime soon, and then it happens. So it was mad, but Brazilian Cowboys as tough as they come, isn't he? But the writing was on the wall as soon as he took that shot, because I don't believe anyone can recover from that.
So what do you think's next for Brown then? Obviously, this is probably going to push him up quite a lot on the rankings.
Yeah.
I don't think can't see him on the top 15 at all on here, but I think he's definitely going to be up getting close to it.
Yeah. As I say, welterweight's another division that's quite deep, isn't it? And you've got lots of guys who are pushing for as well. You look at names like Hamzat Chimaev, who's seemingly sky's the limit for him.
Yeah.
You've got, it's got to be. I don't know if Oliveira is ranked or not. But
no, I'm just looking now. It's not in the top 15. No.
But you've got to think after that one, he's got to get a ranked opponent. For me, it'd be nice
number 15 would be Robbie Lawler. If he was to get the bottom of the top 15, it'd be Robbie Lawler he'd be looking at potentially having a fight against. That would be something to watch.
Oh yeah, it would be sort of all the makings of a McDonald Lawler remake, wouldn't it? They're the sort of guys that will just stand in the middle and trade. I'd like to see him up against a more of a wrestler and see if he can show some improvement in that defensive wrestling that's sort of holding him back, because there's no doubt about it. The power's there, the striking's there. But as we say, MMA is getting better every year, and Usman's showing at the top. You need to have everything if you want to get to the top in this division or any really now.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to be covering the main event soon. Is there anything you want to add on the prelims before we get off and get prepared for the next lot?
I thought the Brendan Allen looked really good again, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought it was quite naive from Carl Robertson, wasn't it, when he rolled for Allen's leg, and you think and Allen was even saying in the post-fight interview that there was an opportunity there for him to let go and get up.
Yeah.
But Robertson, went to try and roll with the leg and land and sink in that heel hook. But when you're up against a supreme grappler like Brendan Allen, it was just it was naive to say the least, because he should be looking for any opportunity to get back to the feet there. But again, Brendan Allen moves on. This was a fight that when the odds first came out, it was a bit of a pick'em. I think Allen actually went off favourite, but earlier in the week it was a pick'em coin flip. So it's a good win for him. He'll move on. He's someone that I'm excited about in that middleweight division going forward.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, all in all, brilliant night of fights last night. Join us in 15 minutes. We're going to be talking about the main event. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.